So yeah, we just basically wanted to put a bit of a webinar together following the webinar we had recently, just as we've had a few inquiries about the Mimecast training, and I know that it's not something that we've sold or looked at before with anyone. So we use it internally, and we've had some really good engagement from it internally. We use the reports to see sort of where we're like lacking in some areas and things like that. So I think it's really useful. So Zach's going to run through it, hopefully answer any questions that you may have. He can show you how to use the portal, what you get as part of the package and things like that. Hopefully you are, Zach, anyway.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Good. And so if you do have any questions, just feel free to ask them. But if you don't think of anything or you think of something later, just drop me a message and I'd be happy to help you out with anything. So yeah, anyway, I'll pass over to Zach.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan. So as Jordan said, I'm a customer account manager at Mimecast. So I've worked really closely with Breakwater to ensure that our Mimecast customers get the best level of service that they require, that we're kind of matching your priorities and what you need from Mimecast moving forward. So yeah, working really closely with the Breakwater guys. Today we're going to go through the awareness training side of things. So I'm really excited to take you both through that. I want the session to be interactive. So as Jordan said, like if you do have questions that pop into your mind, just please do interrupt me and ask them. More than happy to kind of help you out where required. Just one quick question for you both, Teresa and Paul, before we start. Teresa, do you do much around kind of security training of your users at the moment?
No, we tend to send out security messages every now and again, and Tim sent out one recently because he came along to the last Zoom call on cyber security.
Okay.
So he sent a general email out then, and I think the one before that was really not long before lockdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we haven't done any sort of, this is Mimecast, this is cyber security. We sort of send general email updates after Tim or I do some cyber security training.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and keeping people up to date with what's going on in the security world. That's really important. Paul, what about yourself? Do you kind of do any training for your users at the moment?
No formal training. No, it's very similar to what Teresa just said. You send out the sort of memos that get sent from banks or Breakwater, sort of just raising awareness when there's an alert, but other than that, nothing really.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I think you're definitely not alone, and this is why Mimecast have moved into the awareness training kind of space in the last couple of years, because we want to help companies have a more formalized program around educating people on security, because it's becoming more and more important, and the consequences of making a mistake are unfortunately fairly big nowadays. What I'm going to do is I'll show you the platform, I'll show you the content, I'll show you how it's run, how it's rolled out to your users. Before that, I think it's important to set the scene a little bit on kind of why we've built the platform as it is, and why we've chosen to do things in a certain way. So I'll just share my screen. I hope, give me a shout when you can see it. Yeah, cool. So yeah, as I said, security incidents are obviously very costly for businesses, and 90+% of the time it's a human that makes the mistake. So it might be that they click on a phishing link, but it's actually a lot wider than just a user at their laptop, because it can be things like not shredding a document that's got sensitive information on it, or leaving your laptop open in a coffee shop and logged in while you just nip to the toilet. These are prime examples of where someone can gain access to systems and cause a security breach. And obviously the cost implications of those are huge. we're seeing things like, I don't know if you saw in the news about Garmin, who suffered from a ransomware attack, and they actually paid out the ransom, which is estimated to be in the millions. So obviously huge implications. Other impacts of businesses, things like loss of revenue, damage to your reputation and your brand, fines, legal fees, and also if people can't work because systems are down, then that leads to less productive workforce, and people can't work and keep the business ticking over. And these sorts of things are sadly happening all the time. And the other kind of thing that needs addressing is, and again, this is why we've moved into the security training space, and this is why kind of the stance we're taking is because we found that a lot of money is being spent on awareness training for users, and actually it's not getting people engaged and wanting to learn about security. So in the past, businesses and organizations have done things like when you first join the company, you have to read through a few pages of company policy and tick the box, and then that's your training done on security, and you move on. How many times do people actually read the document, or do they just scroll to the bottom, tick the box and move on? Other stances that businesses take are getting people into a classroom for half a day and taking them through everything around security and what they should be doing. But actually, how well are they retaining that information, and how engaged are they? Because likely chances are that, you know, they're fed up that they've got to go away from their work and spend half a day in a classroom. And you have no way of kind of measuring whether the information that you're training them is sticking. It's a kind of finger in the air job. You deliver the training and you hope that that's enough for your users on security. Engagement is really important for training, because you want to get people involved and bought into the training, because then they start learning to do the right things. If they're not engaged or paying attention, then they're not learning to do the right things. And when they're not learning to do the right things, they're likely to make a mistake. And when they make a mistake, they get told off by someone, or they cause a significant impact to the business, and then they have a dismissive attitude towards security. So the whole piece around engagement is really important. The other area is that you want to start making people feel like they're part of the solution rather than part of the problem. So users and people are always told, oh, don't click on this, don't click on that, but actually you want to get them engaged and get them learning about how they can be part of the security within a company rather than being an issue around security. So how do we make training engaging? Well, firstly, we recognize that videos are now how people like to learn. So for example, if I wanted to learn how to tie a bow tie, I would just jump on YouTube, search up a video, this is how you tie a bow tie, and I'd watch and learn. So video content is how people learn, and people are used to videos with things like Netflix and Disney Plus and everything. There's a lot of focus around video. We also found that humorous content is really engaging as well. So sitcom style TV shows are the most popular in the world. Think of like Friends, Big Bang Theory, and comedy gets people laughing, obviously, and gets people talking about it in the office, and that's really important because you want to create that culture of security awareness. So by providing video content that's funny, you get users more engaged rather than a video that might be a 10-minute lecture on how to spot a phishing link, for example. So that's the type of content that we've gone for, and that's why we've done it. So, as I said, a little bit more on the video content. We've chosen 2 characters that feature across all of our videos, and what I'll do afterwards is send round some examples of the type of content that we've got on offer. I would try and play it through this webinar, but unfortunately the playback when I'm sharing my screen isn't very good. So I'll definitely make sure to send some out to you afterwards. So, but as I said, there's two characters that are consistent throughout all of the videos, and each video presents a scenario that's relatable in real life. So it might be set in the office, it might be set in the coffee shop, or you know, on a train, things like that. It's scenarios that are relatable. The characters become familiar, and it's rolled out at a regular cadence that's not intrusive. So you're not asking them to do training every week. It's that kind of repetitive learning at a cadence that's set by you. And actually, we did a study and found that our training content is really successful. And as you can see on all of these topics, there's things like phishing, passwords, storage devices, that users' responses dramatically improved after they took the training than compared to before. So it's content that works, and it drives better knowledge and understanding of security. What's really nice is then you get some really useful metrics off the back of the training that you've delivered, and I'll go through how it's delivered in a moment. But essentially what you then get is an understanding of how good people are with security. So you can then begin to plot individuals in your business on a bell-shaped curve, and you can kind of see where they are and how good they are at security. So that's a really nice overview that you can get. You can also compare your organization's overall security risk score against others in your industry. So you can begin to benchmark yourself against your competitors and start saying, well, actually, we're performing much better than our industry at security, which means that we're in a really good place. By being able to see where your users are on the graph, you can then know where to focus more of your resources and your time. And as I said here, you can track your company's score over time and yeah, hopefully see that improve. The final aspect of it is that you can reinforce the training with phishing simulations. So you can send out fake or phishing templates, if you like, to your users. There's a whole bunch of ones that are pre-made for you with real life examples. So things like Amazon shipping, a phishing email based on that, something around Office 365. We also give you the ability to create your own phishing emails if you wanted to do something that might be specific to the location of your office. Or so say like a gym's just opened down the road and you might want to you know, work up a phishing email based on that potentially, because this is what hackers do. The other advantage of you being a Mimecast customer at the moment is that what we're going to be able to do in the very near future, I think it's a week or two away, is we can take a phishing email that we've blocked for you, and we can take out everything that's dangerous about that phishing email, so the link, any attachment, and send that through to the end user who it was meant to be received by. Because there's no better phishing template than an actual one that's been sent to a user. So that's a real advantage for you as a Mimecast customer. So we'll jump into the platform, but before I do, does anyone have any questions on what you've seen there? Is there anything that stands out, or anything you want to ask at this point?
No, it's fine.
Is it available for us now, Zach, or is it an add-on to the Mimecast that we have?
I think it's an add-on to what you've got currently.
So Teresa, it's just a per user per month sort of thing, like everything is these days. And you get, Zach, I think it's 10 videos a year, is it, per user?
You get 12 videos per year, and you also get a couple of ones, custom ones as well. I'll go through that in a little bit more detail in a moment.
Okay.
I think that the addition of having that simulated phishing included in that, though, is really beneficial. I know in the past, some of our clients have spent quite a bit of money doing that sort of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and we trialed it internally as well, and luckily no one clicked on it. But yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So
Yeah, I think yeah, as you say, like businesses do try to spend a lot of money on kind of that training, and sometimes it's in response to things like maybe a business that you work with has asked you, you know, do you have a formalized training plan? So yeah, it's becoming a growing requirement for businesses or organisations to have some sort of training in place. Right, so we'll jump into the demonstration of platform. So we'll start off by just understanding the end user experience before we go into the administrative side of things. So the user would receive an email prompting them to take their training module that's due for them. And I'll show you how you queue all of those up in a moment. They would then click on a link, it would take them to this landing page, and we're going to ask them a few questions. Now, these questions here are delivered to a user once every 6 months. So they're not part of every module that's delivered. But what we're trying to do by asking these questions is understand their attitude towards security. So I understand how security threats impact the organization, how they impact my family, what steps I can take to prevent security breaches. I know what steps the organization is taking to prevent security breaches, and I think the company is doing everything it can to prevent security breaches. So just 5 really simple questions, and then they jump into a video. And this video is going to present a scenario, as I said. I think this one, is this the free cruise for 2? Yeah, this is a video where Doug has received an email saying he's got a free cruise, which is, you know, obviously quite likely to be a phishing email. So the user would then have to watch the video, have a laugh with the characters there, and then they'd be asked a question afterwards, and it's a situational judgment question. So it presents a scenario. What would you do in this particular example? So this one is around suspicious activity on an account and to do with banking. What would you do? How would you make sure that this was a legitimate email that's come through? Would you log in? Would you go to the link, go to the bank's website, or would you just straight up open the attachment? So of course, I think the best thing to do here would be to go to the bank's website, which is the right answer. And we celebrate with the user because they got it right, so you chose the best answer. And this GIF here is customizable. So you may want to choose some that are in the platform, and this is one of the characters that are in the videos. But what we've seen companies do is put individuals from that organization in the GIF. So you may want to have, say, your CEO or one of the senior figures in your company and film them celebrating. In the same way, if a user got the question wrong, there'd be a GIF and it would be someone, you know, commiserating with them, and you might want to do the same. So it's fully customizable and it gives that extra personal touch to the training. You then go through to the next screen, and again, we're providing some useful metrics to the user because then they can see how other people answered this question. So 84%. And again, that's driving conversation in the business. It's comparing people to other people, and you get that kind of conversation. Oh, which one did you pick? I can see quite a few people picked option A. So again, just driving that conversation about security, it gets people talking about it. And then finally, regardless of whether the user got the question right or wrong, we give them a phishing badge because we want to reward them for taking the training, and they get a badge that then adds into their kind of their area within the training. So that's essentially how a module is rolled out from an end user perspective. So I'm just going to jump into the platform itself. So this is a module from the administrator experience. So if you look up here, we're just in the main dashboard at the moment. And this is where you would customize your module that you wanted to roll out. So here we can see how well people have done on that specific video. So 25 people have completed it, 23 got it correct. And you can see how many people have actually taken the training, or whether they're yet to click on that email that's been delivered to them that takes them to the portal. You can see how people have answered the question, and you can see how people have how you're doing compared to others in your industry. This was the email prompts that I was referring to earlier that notifies the user when a module is due to be taken. Again, this is customizable, so you know, you can kind of have that personal touch to your users, and here it would just present a link that would take them through to that landing page. And again, this is where you customize that GIF of the person celebrating or commiserating. And you can also attach any custom content that you want to a module as well. So you may have an acceptable use policy or some other company policy which you need your users to read. You can upload that as part of the module as well. Any questions at this point?
No.
No, it's all good.
No, no, it sounds fine.
Wonderful. Okay. So while this is loading, so the performance is where you then get a more holistic view of how your users are doing with regard to the training. It's just loading here. So this is a demo environment, by the way, so you have some restrictions on what I can do, but the large majority of features are here. So on the watch list in the performance area of the administration console, you can see how many users have unwatched videos. So let's just refresh this. It's going to log me out now, isn't it? Okay. No worries. So essentially what you'd be able to do on the left-hand side here is it would group users by how many unwatched videos they have. On the achievement side of things, oh, this is really annoying. On the achievement side of things, you're then grouping users by how many incorrect responses they've got. So what you may want to do is have a look at people who've got 4 incorrect responses, because they are going to be your most risky users. What you'd also be able to do is, if you were to click into that list, you would see the users that have a poor risk score because they've got 4 incorrect responses. But you'd also be able to see why we've given them that poor risk score. So earlier when we were asking the questions about, do you know what steps the organisation is taking to improve security? Those type of questions, we're tracking their sentiment towards security. You're also able to track their knowledge based on how good they are at answering the questions, and their engagement as well. So how quickly are they taking the training, or are they just letting it sit in their inbox for a while before taking? So those 3 factors, their sentiment towards security, how much they know, and how engaged they are with the training, then builds into their risk score. And this is where you'd be able to view that. Now, hopefully this starts working and we can view it at the end, but I'll move on. And then this is where you'd come for your modules. So here you can pick a number of modules that are based around certain categories. So things like information protection, data in motion. So an example of data in motion might be not picking up a USB pen drive that you just found in the car park and plugging that into your computer, because that could have something really dangerous on it. Office hygiene, that's not making sure you're washing your hands after you've been to the loo. That's shredding paper, shredding paper that's got sensitive information on, locking your laptop when you're away from your desk, and other categories like passwords and phishing. And then this is where you would, once you selected the video that you want to roll out, you then move it across into your queue. Let me find one that's not been released yet. I can't find one. And here, this is where, so you'd come in and you can again kind of customize that email, attach the GIFs that you want to, and decide when you want that module to be rolled out. As a recommendation, we recommend around once a month for a module. There is an option, so you do get 12 per year, and then a custom built module. You've got 2 of those as well that you can roll out. So we recommend about once a month. You can buy more modules as well if you wanted to roll them out at a more frequent cadence than that. So that's it with regards to the training videos. Has anyone got any questions at the moment?
So, sorry, yeah, you just get 1 video a month, do you?
Yeah, so you get, well, there's 14 across the year. So we recommend rolling once out a month, but you can get access to more if you need them, and roll them out, say, once every 2 weeks if you wanted to as well.
Okay, so we would push the videos to the users rather than they have a library that they work through in their own time.
Exactly that. And the reason why is because there may be things that are more relevant to your organization at that period of time. So for example, things like working from home is obviously important now. So you might then want to queue a module that's based specifically around the security threats that exist while working at home.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that makes sense.
Sam,
yeah.
we have a number of not a number, but a few short-term employees every year. That might be an intern or a temporary person helping out for a short period. Is there some kind of introduction training that comes as part of this package? Because whilst they'd get the monthly video, if we set it up in that way, it almost seems like there's an intro one that they would need to sort of set the scene, if you like.
Yeah, so what we recommend doing in that instance is, say they've joined halfway through the year, you may want to just quickly roll out 3 or 4 modules to them as soon as they join, so that they then catch up with the rest of the users in your company. So just as part of that kind of onboarding experience with the business, you can then just roll out some modules to them at a more frequent cadence than the other ones, so that they've caught up.
Okay.
Finally, there's a report that I'll just get to it. So you can pull this report from the main dashboard, and essentially it gives a really nice snapshot view of the metrics that's provided by the training. Now, this is really good for that return on investment piece, because you can take this back to the business and say, look, this is how much we've improved with regards to security, because you can see that our risk score has moved up. So we're now in the green, whereas before we were in the orange. You can give the performance statistics on how your users are doing. And again, you can see which topics you are good at compared to the average, and then compared to which topics you're not so good at. So Paul, to your question earlier around, do you pick the modules that you roll out to your users? Well, you might want to come in and look at this report and say, well, actually, we're really poor at this, so we need to roll out a couple of modules based on this. So that's why you would want to be able to pick and choose which modules your users take. And then here you can see yourself compared to others in your industry and compared to all industries that use the platform. And you can group performance by department as well. So we've seen companies gamifying this and saying, well, the department who do best at the training in this quarter or in this month get an hour off on Friday, let's say. So kind of incentivizing good performance in training, and getting that kind of team spirit as well, and turning things into a little bit of a competition. And then here we can see the attitude tracker, so you can gauge how your users are thinking towards security. And so, yeah, we're doing well, positive here. And then the breakdown in the answers to those 5 questions, which I answered at the beginning. That's the flash report which you can pull. And as I said, really good for seeing where you're at with regards to training, and also for that return on investment piece, and seeing, you know, where how well you've improved as a result of rolling out this training.
Zach,
Yeah.
a question from Jamie, who I think just joined a few minutes after we started.
Sure.
He's said, how do people typically integrate this with their existing training systems? Do organisations find that compliance and engagement is just as much 12 to 24 months later, or do people typically stop viewing?
Okay, so to the first point, I know there's a lot of HR platforms that this does integrate with, but it's rolled out as via an email. So in terms of kind of an integration with another HR platform, it's not necessarily needed, because it's just an email that's delivered. The second part of the question was that people stopped doing the training after like 12 to 24 months, was it?
Yeah. Do people kind of drop off, I think, is the question.
Okay. So I'd answer that as a no, and the reason for that is because the video content is consistently being updated, so they bring it out in seasons. So I think we're on season 5 or season 6 now, which means that there's a whole bank of videos that are in there already. But also we're constantly changing the content, and I know that they've just brought out a lot of videos based around working from home. So there's one where all of the characters are on a Zoom call rather than in an office. So we're constantly changing and modifying the content based on geopolitical events, things like coronavirus, and other things that crop up in the news, so that, you know, we're staying we're keeping up with industry trends and keeping the training relevant as possible.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's like watching a season of Friends or something. I absolutely love it. It's really sad, but I do love it.
Yeah, I'm always excited when you get the emails for the training.
Yeah, exactly. Would you mind just showing the guys the phishing templates and things like that?
Yeah, sure, not a problem. The demo environment that I've got set up wasn't giving me access to it earlier, but let me try again.
Okay.
Zach, I'm logged into mine. If you want to you want me to do it on my screen.
Oh, that'd be
if you
great.
do struggle.
Yes, please.
Thanks, John.
That's right.
I think it's really. I just think that's a really good feature of it.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I'll go into the risk scores as well, which I'll.
Oh, okay.
If that's okay, John, or is there? Shall I just go through the phishing for now?
Yeah, if I do that, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Can I pass control?
View options,
to...
request for control. There you go.
There you go. You should be set up to access that.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
But I think the biggest
Thanks for that, John.
I think the biggest point here is, why is Breakwater only on good?
47% above most other IT and technology companies, though.
No, I was expecting in the dark green, to be honest, John.
Next time I show it to you, Paul.
Yeah, I hope so.
The problem is I let it down.
Ah, really?
You did it wrong on purpose, so you can see the bad gift rather than the good one.
I just like testing it, see what happens. Although on that GIF, I did see Jordan's face light up about changing them to customized gifts. I'm a bit worried about this.
You are up.
So this is the phishing side of it. So as I said, we've got loads of inbuilt or pre-made phishing templates that you can use. These are completely unlimited, so you can roll them out as frequently as you want to. And we're we've chosen things that are going to be like typically used in common phishing emails. So OneDrive is obviously really popular, and you can roll that out to a user. If they were to click on the link, they would then be taken to this landing page, and they would know that, you know, it was just a phishing test, no harm done, and they get a few tips and things like that. This is all built into their risk score as well. So if they do click on a fake phishing template, then that is going to affect their risk score as well. So as I say, like, you can create your own or use pre-built ones in here already. We also do multi-page templates as well. So a phishing email that's sent through, it then takes them to a landing page where they have the opportunity to give away their credentials. So what we're then doing is we're tracking whether they click on the original email and then whether they actually give away their login credentials on the landing page. If they do, again, we take them to this and let them know that it was just a simulation. That's it from the phishing side of things. What you can do is you can roll them out to a select group of users if you wanted to, or you can roll them out across everyone. So you can kind of create subset groups of users. So for example, on the performance side, where we had a group of people who had 4+ wrong answers, you might want to then select all of those users in this group at the bottom and create a group out of them, and then just send a phishing email to that team of people rather than just to everyone. So you can get quite creative and customize the templates themselves and who you send them to as well.
Thank you.
That's the phishing side of things. Does anyone, Paul, Teresa, do you have a question? Any questions on the phishing templates?
I don't think so, unless it's possible to watch maybe one of the videos through or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We can certainly try.
Just wanted to show Paul that no one clicked my phishing attempt email last week.
Oh, that's a relief. Glad about that,
Dare I look into the performance side of things and see which of your...
Yes,
Go on.
do. Yes,
You'll see that the people that haven't done videos, that there's 2 people that haven't done videos, and they're both on furlough at the minute, which is what's bringing us down. But yeah, hit the performance. Although you'll probably see I did get a wrong answer a couple of weeks ago.
On purpose, of course.
On purpose, absolutely on purpose.
He's above that now, Zach. He's above that.
So we'll look into this list of achievement. So here you can see kind of who's got right answers, who's got wrong answers. John sitting proudly at the top here. And then you can look into the risk score as well. So you can see which of your users have a poor risk score, which of them have like a good risk score. And as I said earlier, if you remember, we're tracking those 3 things, so sentiment, engagement, and knowledge. So we're looking to understand why they have a really good risk score. It's for these 3 reasons. So if we go back to the list, let's have a look at the poor. So here we go. We can see why they've got a poor score, because they're not engaged with the training. They've got some questions wrong. Their knowledge isn't, but actually their attitude towards security is good. So you can then approach that user with the right conversation. You know, like kind of where they're falling down on security.
They are both on furlough, by the way, Paul.
I was just about to say, I'm sure I spoke to one of them the other day.
You did.
They weren't sure how to log in or something. It was a bit they were confused about the risk.
Oh dear.
You'll regret sharing your screen, John.
I know.
If not already.
John, I'll just try and show a demonstration of a video.
Go for it.
Yeah, if you could just stop sharing your screen, and then I can just jump in and pull that up.
There you
go. Wonderful, thanks. Example. we go. Cool, so we'll just quickly blast through these. Right, do let me know if the playback's a bit shaky. Hopefully it should be okay though. Can you hear that? Is that all right?
You can't hear.
You can't hear. I need to stop sharing and share with sound. Share sound. Here we go.
No. No, no, no. Come on. Okay. No. No.
Say your prayers, Dougie. It's night-night time.
For goodness sake. Okay. I'll just leave it.
No. No, no, no. Come on. Okay. No. No.
Say your prayers, Dougie. It's night-night time. Finish them now. No, what? Hey, don't pause.
Congratulations. You won a Caribbean cruise for 2. I won?
That's awesome.
No, Doug, nobody won.
Why would you squash his dreams like that?
Because that's not real.
There's a picture of a real boat. All you gotta do is click on the link for more information. Ship's finally coming in, Bob. Doug sailing away. Click it.
Do not click on that link. You don't know who sent it to you. Don't take the
No,
bait.
click it, Doug.
Be strong, Doug. Doesn't even look like that great of a boat anyway.
That's not even a real site. I didn't win anything.
You're still winning to me, Bob. You loser!
How did that happen?
Because you're a loser.
I had the sword. I had the sword.
You should have played your sword earlier.
It just pops up. I can't click anything.
Why don't you guys taste this for me?
Yeah, it's ransomware. They get in and encrypt your files. Now they want money to unlock them.
Okay, wait. How did they get in?
Bad attachment, suspicious link. Did you click on anything you shouldn't have recently?
Hey, whatever Dougie Fresh does in the privacy of his own home.
Yeah, I thought I won a free cruise. I got an email.
You clicked on that?
You sound pretty judgy. You better watch your tone.
It had a picture of a real boat.
Okay, look, I can't tell you what to do. Only you know how much those files are worth. And who knows if the payment would even work.
Oh, yeah. That took a turn.
I can't believe I have to pay this.
And maybe you don't. When's the last time you backed up?
What? I don't know. When's the last time you backed up?
Been a while. Caution to the wind. I like it.
I have to go.
Wait. Can you lend me $500?
No.
Hey, we'll get the money. Sell your G.I. Joes, have a bake sale, something like that. God, whoa. Man. You want to pull this?
Yeah, so as you can see, like quite funny. It's bringing in that someone who is in a scenario, you know, and we all have it where we've got a phishing email that's come through. There's also, you'll notice other triggers like, when was the last time you backed up your computer? So there's other kind of bits and pieces in there around good practices for security. So yeah, that's kind of the tone of the videos. There's also in more recent seasons some English characters rather than American to give it that kind of more of a home feeling. But yeah, I really like them personally. I think they're really funny. So glad we got a chance to show them.
Good. Thank you.
No problem at all. Jordan, is there anything that you think I've missed? Anything, or any final questions from anyone? Or
Pricing.
Pricing. That's one.
Obvious one, really. Come on.
That's one for you to kind of cover with Jordan and John, I think.
Fair enough.
The question, sorry.
Oh, Paul just about pricing.
Oh, okay.
I have to tell you anyway. So it's priced at £1.50 per user per month for the base, and then you can add on additional videos. I can't quite remember the cost of that, but it's less than that if you want to add on. I think the add-on is like 10 more or 12 more a year. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's 12. Yeah.
The 150 covers the 14 videos a year. That's what comes with that. And if you want more, you pay for those extra ones.
Yeah. And then it includes obviously the fishing stuff as well. So yeah, you've got all that included.
Okay.
Yeah.
How easy were those phishing emails to set up? Are they non-techie, or do you need Breakwater to write them?
No, Paul, you could quite easily do it. So John, we were on a call with Mimecast guys the other week, and John was just set one up just as we were talking. It's all templated for you anyway, so you can just change like what you. So I think John sent out a share of a OneNote or something like that, and he just changed it. It had like Michael wants to share a OneNote with you. He just changed it to show as John wants to share a OneNote with you. And then he scheduled it for the next day, and it just sent out, I think it sent it out staggered so that everyone got it at a slightly different time, or something like that, I think. But yeah, so it was just, and then Stuart ruined it and told everyone.
But that's kind of what you want. You want people to see it and stop people from clicking on it. You need that kind of attitude, don't you? Although I did want some people to click on it. It literally can be done in 2 or 3 minutes, can't it?
Yeah, it's really straightforward, and because there's loads of templates in there. So the ones, obviously the phishing attempts that we see all the time are things like a OneDrive share and things like that, and the thing that Zach just showed, where it asks for details as well. That's a really common phishing attack. So I think we all see them daily anyway. So hopefully everyone's trained to kind of be aware of those things. But I think it's just a good test just to see if anyone. Or like, especially for new starters, I think it's a really good thing where people aren't maybe used to an office environment or haven't ever had that sort of training. I think it's a really good thing for those sorts of people. And Jamie, I think you've asked if there's not-for-profit pricing. I don't know if there is. I need to find out, so I'll come back to you on that.
Paul, did you want me to show you creating one, how easy it is?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, might as well, yeah.
Zach, tell me when I do it wrong.
Yeah.
I'll try.
So share that. So yeah, you go to campaigns, click on add campaign. Call it, I'm going to use the sign in one, call it sign in test. Nope. I'm going to select a language, and I'm going to use the sign in notification one, which I think is a 365 sign in.
Just to add, the random, non-random, it will select different templates from that category, so not everyone's getting the same.
Okay, thank you.
Email.
Okay, sign in notification, send to all employees. Yeah, off we go. Launch now, or launch tomorrow from, let's say.
Zach, on this bit as well, didn't you say that we could customize how that, so the from this email address, we can customize how that might look as well?
Correct. Yeah, you can do that in the your Mimecast administration console.
Okay, but once that's done, I can then do that, and I've clicked create, and then that'll send out tomorrow. Is that easy enough, Paul?
So, yeah, it certainly looks easy.
Much easier than last time we did it.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, that was quite painful.
Where do you can customize email templates on the email templates tab? So that one that John's just sent out, he could have customized that prior to sending it, because you can. So if you have a look,
copy it.
You can customize all the email template and the subject and everything like that. So you can do all that sort of stuff before you send it out as well. So if you want to make it a bit more, like, I guess we could probably copy our email signatures into there and things like that, I guess. But
yeah, I can make it look a bit more real. Happy with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Nice. There we go. Right.
Amazing. Well, yeah, thanks very much, Teresa, Paul, and Jamie for joining. Really appreciate your time, and I hope you've enjoyed going through the awareness training platform. If you do have any other questions, either directly towards Jordan, or I'm happy to help out where possible as well. But yeah, other than that, I think that's everything from my side of things. Jordan, thanks for having us, and yeah, hope everyone found it useful.
Sorry, is there a minimum, sorry, last question. Is there a minimum number of users?
Don't think so, no.
No, cool. All right.
Cool. Thank you so much, Zach. I really appreciate it. It was really good.
Cool, wonderful.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.
Take care. Cheers. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.